Hello everybody, and hello kids, all the Ben 10 fans. My name is Justin Hootie, and today I wanted to actually show you how you can actually make your own Ben 10 Omnitrix, like people call it the Omni-Kix, from Ben 10 Robot. I mean, it says so on a piece of paper. So I just made the whole tile made out of cardboard that you can actually do. You can actually turn a dial and then just pretend to trying to do it. So it's very hard. So I don't have enough materials to try to make it good as possible. So but today I wanted to actually show you how you can make your own. And if you want to know how you can actually make your own, just watch that video on my description down below. So what I just did that I just look up on the top here. She's very good on how to make some good arts and crafts. And down right here. So what you wanted to do that you can actually print them out. I just printed some black color. I don't have a lot of color, but if you actually do, that would be great. If you don't, then just be creative. And then what you want to do that you can actually just cut it like this. Cut it like this, trying to make it as good as possible. Is it actually an example for you? And you don't actually need it, but if you do, you can. So I'll just put it on the side. And now all you need to do is just cut this out. So what I do that I just cut them out, put them on the side, and then cut it and cut it, put that aside, cut it, cut some of the pieces, and this is gonna be a long video. So put that aside. You know what? Let me just cut it all the pieces so that way you can actually see the design. That's on my neck. Okay, put that. And here that piece, and that one we can actually cut out. And we don't need these pieces on this, so I'm gonna just cut them out. And there are two more, and then I'll be done. Ah! Sorry, I just turned on my fan because it's so hot in my room, and it's hot in Hawaii. So yeah, if you in Hawaii, you need to turn on your fan. If you don't, then alright, what are you gonna do? Okay, now you have all the pieces. Oh, sorry, kind of went. I recommend you actually cut this part of this part. So I recommend I do that. Just cut it to the right on the angle. on the side. I'll put that there. Cut them out. Cut. Sorry, all the wind blowing at all the paper. So what if I do that? Right. Oh, I kind of messed it up a little bit. But that okay. This is just like a test. If you wanted to actually do it exactly like I do, you can. If not, then okay. So put it out of the side. Well, I'm probably gonna put these two out of the side. You probably gonna need them. And what you want to do that you can actually use this as a base on your template and try to use some cardboard, then by flatted it down, traced it, then by cut it using a scissor. And then just grab another one, another cardboard, by say by four, just to be just to be so short about it. And then once you get four, you just hot glue it into hot glue it in place, which I totally ran out of hot glue sticks. So if you use up all of it, I recommend you can actually do I recommend you can actually buy some more hot glue because this is a long video. So after you did that, well before you did that, you can actually try to cut in the center for your this, the dial. But if you're having a hard time, kid, just ask your parent permission to help you on how you do it. So, recommend you be careful. Ah, did it actually a test? Should I be so sure? Uh, okay, now you got that out. I recommend you can actually trace it using a pencil. After that, you can actually cut it out using a scissors, and then you can actually do it again by 4 times, and then you can actually super glue it into, not super glue it, but hot glue it in place, and a little bit of super glue. So just to be fair, or if you have like some PVA foam, you can actually use that as well. Just be like creative. It doesn't have to be that perfect. If my parent told me that. So after you done, you can actually just cut out this part carefully. I recommend you can actually cut it. There we go. And then once you done, you can actually trace it on your notebook sheet. I think you might get a folder. Yeah, if you have one of these folders, I recommend you actually trace them, cut it out, and buy some more by folders, and then glue it onto this. That way you can actually try and make it fit in there. I think you should probably do 4 or 5 just to be sure of that. And what else do I do? Oh yeah, and then for that, you can actually use these just like I cut them. But before you actually put them on, you can actually use the folder to try to cut them out, or just use a cardboard to cut it out. And then once you done, just put it out the side for now. And now for this, as a base from here, I recommend you can actually cut this. This is gonna be a long video, so when when the chip by okay, you got the first one. We need to move it out of the side all the pieces and start by here. I recommend you can actually try to print by two just to be sure. If not, then you can actually just try to use whatever. So once you did that, you can actually trace it onto the hard piece of paper, because hard, not skinny, and then try to trace it by 2 times. Yeah, 2 of these, and then by 2 of, or make it a 3 of these. Put that outside. Okay, it's gonna be a long video, so recommend I will do that. Oh yeah, I did by trying to use cardboard to cover up this area and that area. And then what else did I do? I did try to use some of the pieces, then cover it with some black paint like this. And then for these two, if I say light gray and regular gray, I don't have enough colors, so I recommend I just use metallic. This is actually for model paint, but that's okay. And then I just use black paint. So I did do light coated on right here, and then I mix with black to make it as dark gray as possible. I know you cannot see it. You can't see it, but it's still there. So, and once you've done with that, you can actually just use some black and then try to use some lighter paintbrush to try to underline it if possible and then create the design, and try to paint with a bigger paintbrush. And then once you've done with it, you can actually use Mod Podge sealer to seal everything up. And what else did I do? Okay, but done with that, what else did I do? Oh yeah, and still I had some cardboard and some, I think a foam for that matter, but I used some foams and stickers and all that. And then I just glue it onto hot, I mean, super glue to glue it in place. And what did I do? Oh, and then I found the clip. I think I had a D-ring, so I just put hot glue there and a little bit of super glue. That way it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah, I wrap it around using some. I forgot what it's called. Um, plastic tubes. I think craft tubes for making silly arms for that matter. Then I found the hook that way I can wrap it around with, and then I wrap it around with some tape, hockey tape. That way it doesn't go anywhere. And put some wheels on some of I think a Scotch tape that I wrap it around with. That way You won't scratch your arm when you move it around with it. And now for the details. So I did by trying to use some hot glue sticks, but if you ran out of hot glue stick, I recommend you buy some more. Hold on. Hold on, sorry, I got a lot. I'll get to that later. Excuse me for 1 minute. So sorry. So sorry, my dad. So it can be like interrupting sometime, but I did by trying to use some of the detail, and then I could cut them so those hot glue using some of these. I cut them like this, and then like that. And I did the same way as well, but for these one in the front, one in the back. I can never really tell. Yeah, for 1 minute. Sorry for that interruption again. Just talking to my dad. They might be interrupting or not, so I'm terribly sorry for that. It's gonna be a long video, yes. But now that out of the way, so I recommend that you use some hot glue on the design, and then once you are done, you can actually super glue it in place. No more interrupting. Right, I super glue it in place, and then I try to cut them, well, try and sand them, and then I did paint it with some white onto there, and then once it's dry, I put it by Mod Podge to seal it up, put that out of the side, and now for the detail of this. So I recommend you do that. You can actually just use the cardboard, or if you don't want to find, how people are having a hard time trying to throw away the soda boxes when they go to the store. Well, just by use this, and I recommend you can actually, like, I think you can actually glue it right here and try to put it on there, but if you don't want to, then that's fine. I recommend you can actually just cut it. Pretend I'm cutting the cardboard. So you have to be patient to try to get it good as possible. Okay? And now, once you did that, you can actually try to cut it. Well, not cut it, but trying to that I did on it. Oh yeah, if it actually like too big, I recommend you can actually cut it by say by that line. So if you want to, you can. If you don't, then yeah, recommend you can actually fold it like this and make it like that. Then what you want to do that you can actually put hot glue onto here. That way it doesn't go anywhere. And then once it's done, you can actually put that aside. And now for this part. So I recommend that I did use some my thin cardboard, my thin cardboard too, my hard, my band-aid. I don't have it with me now. Then I just used some of these, I forgot what they're called, these by plastic. I did took it off and it meant for like a earplugs, like not headphones, just earplugs, like you listen to music. And then once you like cut it off, you can actually just sand it, try and put the cardboard. But before you do that, I recommend you like paint it first before you put it on there. And then once you like done with it, you can actually just use hot glue into place. That way it doesn't go anywhere. And what is it? Um, oh yeah, and then I just use I think it'll call by reflective tape. This one is actually yellow, so I mean it kind of works that fine. If you really want to go cheap, like really, really cheap, you can actually use that. And so I just wrap it around, well I cut it by straight, not all the way, just like long enough, like thin, and more like I'll even show it to you guys. Why not? It's gonna be a long, 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 long video. Let me just tell you that. So once you did that, you can actually just wrap around it, and then after you've done that, you can actually do it again, but make sure you're actually trying to make it by short. So I cut it by short like this. I know it's not that short, but you know what I mean by that. So put that aside, and then before you like glue it on, well, I did like do the outside rim using a cardboard box. So I just like cut it, kind of more like that. And again, sorry for the long, long video. But if you don't want me to actually like do it, you can actually fast forward or you can actually like do it because I am not a very good on talking and doing this thing. So it probably take like an hour or forever or once you did that with the cardboard, you can actually just put some hot glue or super glue onto a place like the wing, like that. And then you're probably wondering how I did. Oh yeah, and then I made a cardboard circle for the bottom piece. I know you cannot see it, but it's still there. Well, before you do that, I recommend I did like use this for like Ben 10 waste again time. So I use that, and then I just cut out some. Where did it go? Where did it go? Or you can actually just print them out, and then I recommend you find a piece of paper, black piece of paper, just black, and then try to hold it, and then cut it into like one for right now, or if you want to do two, that's fine. And if you don't like the gray one, you can actually color it with some yellow. I think it's a marker. Yeah, a yellow marker. Or if you have color, I recommend you can actually do color instead. Or if you don't like this part, I recommend you can actually use this part. But I kind of like it this way because when I actually saw the video on YouTube, I was like, it's supposed to be like that. Not like supposed to be like this. So I recommend not be like creative at that point. So I did like use some like a plastic clear. These I think about it for like ribbons that matter. Or you can actually use some toys. If you buy a toy and it also like plastic, you can actually use that. I recommend you can actually use the cardboard circle to circle it out using a scissor, a cutting scissor. And if you don't know why am I saying, just like you can actually just use some words in the description down below and all that. And then once you did that, you can actually buy hot glue, super glue, and put it that way. Don't go anywhere. In the bottom one. And then you can actually, before you put it on here, I recommend you can actually color it with some black and then seal it up using a Mod Podge sealer. Then you can actually try to hot glue and super glue these details and the back of it. And there you go. You have your very own Ben 10 Omnitrix from Ben 10 Warbox or whatever. Or I mean, I never actually watched it. I watched like the original Ben 10. I mean, the original one is actually like good, but there it is. Kind of more like these. You can actually super good it and all that. So give it that. So yeah, it meant to be like fun. You can actually go to cosplay, or you can display it, or give it to. Well, if you like kids, you can actually keep it. But this is gonna be a long video, so look at that. It kind of a little bit annoying compared to the rest of the army trend, where I use some like tape, like Scotch tape, and then it just go bloop. But I did like do something like this, that way they're going around, but it's still moving around, but still. That way you can actually turn it just like so, and then slam it like that. But it doesn't go all the way, kind of more like my original Ben 10 from Alien Force, when I tell you it's just like magnet on it, and then you can actually turn the dial, and then that's it. So, yeah, I'm sorry for the long video, but I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like it, please hit the thumb up and leave a comment down below on which army trip do you actually like. And if you are new on my channel, please hit the subscribe on my channel to get notification for my next video. So I probably like gonna do a lot of arts and craft stuff, and pretty soon in the future, I'm probably like gonna be showing you guys all of my Omnitrix and including my customized toys that I just like did. I can't believe there's like one video that actually going up. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Like all the kids are like still like the video a lot. So yeah, I think that all the time that I have. And remember, if you like it, please hit the thumb up. And I will see you guys later on my next video. You know what Ben Tennyson might say? It's hero time!